If you are struggling with any of these symptoms, too much body fat, not enough muscle, low sex drive, poor sleep, bad skin health, bad gut health issues, autoimmune issues, digestional issues, did I mention sex drive? Erectile dysfunction, and poor quality of sustained energy throughout the day, there's a pretty solid fact that your testosterone and GH levels are not high enough or just completely out of whack or out of balance. What's up, my friends? Welcome to another video. I'm Rob Stuart. I'm here to help you get your skin and your overall health back on track. In today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys 3 super simple, they're so simple and they're basic, but they're ultra effective ways at balancing your GH and your testosterone levels naturally with no herbs, with no pills, with no testosterone replacement therapy, with no visits to the doctor, just good old-fashioned stuff. Now, before I get into this video, a lot of this stuff you've maybe heard before, some of it you probably haven't, but the key factor for making these 3 basic and easy things work for you is actually doing them. When I work with people and help them get their health back on track, so many times it's just the basics that they are not doing. They're really trying to find some easy fix when really it just comes down to the consistency of what you're doing day in and day out. In this video, I'm gonna be giving you guys 3 things that if you do all 3 of these things, your GH and your testosterone will be at the healthiest place it can be. But if you're skipping any one of these steps, or you're just kind of like, I'm gonna, just do number 1 and not number 2 and 3, then you're really not going to have any good results. So you'd be surprised at number 1. It surprises me that when I talk to people about this subject, when they come to me for help rather, I ask them, how much resistance training are you doing? And a lot of times they say, oh, well, I do the beach body workout, or, I go for walks, and, sometimes I play a little bit of sport here and there. And then I ask them again, okay, so you're not doing any resistance training. And they're like, well, I do circuits and I do high intensity interval training classes, which are great, which aren't bad, which are healthy, but there is no replacement for resistance training. And what I mean specifically by resistance training is not high intensity interval training like you see in, I don't know, these workout classes where you're using light weights and going in circuits. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about good old-fashioned weightlifting for the sake of gaining strength. Pull-ups, push-ups, overhead press, deadlifts, squats, and basic rows. The key to your resistance training is that you gotta do some type of progressive overload, and you have to be very consistent with your volume, meaning 3 times per week is an absolute minimum. Some key takeaways for your resistance training, and I'm not gonna get too deep into this because I could talk for 100 videos just about resistance training, but here's some key factors. Big compound lifts like the ones I've already mentioned, multi-joint compound lifts. Give yourself enough rest in between sets. Don't just go 10 seconds or 20 seconds and then do another set. Each set, what you're trying to do is be as strong and get as many reps with a weight that progresses over time. So what that means is if you start off being able to do arm curls with 30 pounds, and you can easily do that, move up to 35 pounds. Once you're able to really easily do the 35 pounds, then you gotta move up to 40 pounds. So in 7 months, if you start with 35 pounds, you gotta be 40 or 50 pounds. You gotta be increasing your weight with the same rep range over time, progressive overload. If you need more information about progressive overload, just look it up. It's a pretty easy concept to grasp. Moving on, number 2. Your diet is the most important thing when it comes to your testosterone and GH levels. If you're eating a trash diet with a lot of carbohydrates and a lot of processed foods, you don't have a single chance of having healthy testosterone. The super easiest basic way to get those testosterone and those GH levels where you want them is to get your healthy fats as a priority. Make sure you're getting plenty of protein to go along with that, and keep your carbs as minimal as you need them, and make sure your carbohydrates are coming from whole food sources. My favorite carb sources are fruit. Now let's talk a little bit about fat intake. The plant fats are not gonna work. Animal fats, when it comes to testosterone and GH, are king. So things like butter, things like salmon, things like egg yolks, things like full fat cutty steaks, like ribeyes and Wagyu, those sources of fat and protein are going to elicit a hormonal response, especially when you pair them with resistance training. Most of you guys know this, so this is kind of a review. Some of you guys might not know this, and again, I have to stress that if you're not doing both things very consistently, you can't really hope that your hormones are gonna be balanced at all, and you can't really hope to see your testosterone levels rise to a healthy place. Fat plus resistance training plus the right amount of protein from good sources, animal fats, animal proteins, will do the job. And last but not least, the third aspect of proper testosterone and GH levels is your circadian rhythm. How much do you get rest and recovery? How well do you deal with stress? And how many hours per night do you sleep? For those of you who watch a lot of TV and play a lot of video games and spend hours and hours and hours a day on social media just messing around and stay up really, really late, you're nipping yourself in the butt every time with your testosterone. Getting sleep during the normal circadian rhythm sleep cycles is ultra important, and getting enough sleep, and that's different for everybody. For me, it's like 6 to 7 hours is absolutely perfect. If you're not getting enough sleep, you are not gonna have healthy GH and testosterone levels. Prioritize your sleep and your recovery. Make sure you're doing resistance training and working out hard in the gym with progressive overload, focusing on big, compound, multi-joint lifts, and get your diet in line, under control. Healthy animal fats in abundance, healthy, well-sourced animal proteins in abundance, and keeping your carbs in check for your own personal goals. Make sure you're not eating processed foods. Your testosterone levels will increase very quickly if you're consistent with these three. They're not hacks, they're just normal, healthy living. Nothing sexy, nothing fancy, no herbs, no needing to do, now, I was gonna say no need to do any type of intermittent fasting, but intermittent fasting is a pretty good hack for helping testosterone and GH, but not for everybody. And I guess this is a little end of the video caveat segue, but one thing that really can hold people back, especially if you're a thinner dude or a thinner lady and you're looking to gain more muscle and gain more body weight so that your hormones can be at a healthy place, intermittent fasting is most likely not for you. Getting enough fat and enough protein, enough calories throughout the day is a super important part. It's a huge part. It's one of the three most important parts of healthy testosterone and GH. On the other hand, if your testosterone and your hormone levels are out of whack because you are a little bit overweight or you have too much fat on your body, using intermittent fasting with these three principles could work really, really good for you. So give it a try. Anyway, guys, I hope these tips really help you. Remember to subscribe and share. Remember to hit the notification bell. Leave all of your comments and questions down below. And for those of you who are looking to get a hold of me to become one of my private clients, there are links in the description box for all my offerings. So if you need some help, take a look down there and pick which one will help you best. Also, down in the description box is a link for Skinessa, which is by far my favorite probiotic for gut health and skin health. It's amazing. I take it every day. My clients have wonderful success with it. Give it a try. Why not? Anyway, guys, I'll be back with many more videos really soon. Peace.